Stacy the Black Feather Intuitive, and welcome to Divinely Decked Tarot and Oracle Reviews done Stacy style. And today I have got such an exciting story and an exciting treat for me, and hopefully you will find it an exciting treat for you as well. So here's the story behind this deck. I bought this deck almost 4 years ago. It was during our lockdown time. And I'm just realizing that I need to adjust the lighting as I am beginning to talk about this. It's a different time of the day. So bear with me here. And I was taking a tarot class, and we were really kind of exploring different aspects of tarot, different styles of tarot decks. And I was really feeling into experimenting and breaking outside of my traditional sort of comfort zone energy. And this deck, called the Everyday Enchantment Tarot, came into my life. It's by Poppy Palin. And I got it and I thought, okay, I'm really going to enjoy this. And when it arrived, I opened it up and I just did not connect with it at all. I felt really disappointed with it. I didn't understand why I had purchased it. There were some images, and you'll see it because I'll show you card by card. But there are some images in there that I have a hard time with. Animal stuff, animal cruelty, animals being hurt, animals being put in compromising situations. I just can't handle it. I'm super, super sensitive. And I know a lot of you starseeds and light workers out there can relate. It's just who I am. It's just how I am. And so there are some depictions in here that really just turned me off. And I realized, you know what? I don't think I can work with this deck. So then at the end of that course that I took, I was really so happy with the instructor. I had learned a lot. And I decided, you know what? I'm not going to use this deck. Why don't I gift it to him? Because he indicated that he did not have it. This was a suggestion, but not one that he had. And I thought, oh, that's why I bought this deck. It's supposed to be a gift to him. So I got his address. I put it in the mail. I packed it all up and whatever. And I sent it, and it came back, returned to sender, undeliverable. And this guy, I'm going to say to you, we had a brief moment in time, because I've lost touch with him. Sometimes he's all in, sometimes he's all out. He's changed his website a number of times. He's changed his approach to things. He moves around all the time. You know, I want to say he's got sort of that, the vagabond quality to him. So this came back to me in like 2021. And it's been sitting, I'm embarrassed to tell you guys, the package itself, the return to sender package, has been sitting in my car since like 2021, whenever it was returned to me. Card in tow, because I wrote him a beautiful thank you card and all the rest of it. Well, I finally cleaned my car out the other day. I was having it detailed because it really, really freaking needed it. And I found this. And I'm like, okay, well, I know already that I don't like this deck. So what am I going to do? You know, like, well, let me just open it. It's been a few years. I'm going to see it. OMG. I love this deck. I worked with it. I've done 2 readings with it. I think it was like, it's a maturity thing for me, or an evolvement thing for me, that I had to break out of what I felt was safe with tarot. And I feel like right now I am ready for this deck. So I am so excited to share this with you. And you're going to notice that, you know, the box is a little warped and a little worn. It's, you know, and that's simply because it's been across the country and back twice. And it's been in my car, and it's been like under my driver's seat, where it has not gotten any love or any attention or any affection. It's been affected by heat. So let's take a look at this Everyday Enchantment Tarot, Finding Magic in the Midst of Life by Poppy Palin. First of all, the deck is huge, like the presentation of it is huge. It is sort of a flip top here. Here's the back, Profound Wisdom. is made accessible with this contemporary 78 card deck and expansive guidebook. It gives you a depiction of some of the things. There's always this little fairy, these little fairies that are in amongst all the cards. You have a really nice blend of people and creature teachers in here. It's just really nice. So when we open it up, it also has a little bit about the author herself here, Poppy Palin. So here's her bio. It is a really big deck or guidebook, sorry. Lots of information here, no color, all black and white, but everything has a story. So you've got, here's a little bit of the, the suit of blades is the suit of swords here. You've got a box of the key words. You've got a depiction of and this is the image right here is the one that turned me off. How interesting that I flipped open to that. The Ace of Blades. It's a dog being operated on in the vets. So having a hard time with that. But how interesting. Clear incision. It gives you a description of the image, what the author was thinking with the image. She creates a story about the card from the perspective of the people in the card. And then she gives the meaning of the card itself. So, there's a lot to this book. And, I don't necessarily enjoy the presentation of this from the perspective of everything being so big. Like, where do you store it? Where do you keep it? It's kind of awkward. It's not something that I can travel with. I'm still not mad with this book because it's a guidebook that I actually would use. I'll step into it because I'm like, okay, I want to get to know the stories. So the deck comes in two sort of sections here. And take a look at the back of these cards. I mean, first of all, they are Oracle style, and I would say they are larger Oracle style cards. They are absolutely reversible. And so much going on, kind of that collage deck kind of feel, but very hand-drawn. You're seeing a lot. And the colors are just so freaking vibrant. The cardstock is really excellent quality. It's nice and thick, but not too thick. It shuffles pretty well. It's just more awkward because the deck itself is pretty big. But I absolutely love it. It is that rose petal feel. It is matte finish, so you're not getting a lot of reflection. You saw that I turned the lights on here because I've been doing a lot of recordings today. The sun is eluding me, and we're not having any reflection really from the light itself on the cards. So now let's take a peek and see what we got. Here we have the Queen of Cups. Love this depiction. She's a homeless, there's a homeless person here with her dog. And here's a woman, everything is drab and gray. And this woman shows up with a smile and a cup of coffee. She says, I see you. You are not invisible to me. I see you. And in every card, you see some kind of fairy figure that is inviting themselves into the party, or witnessing and observing, or maybe inspiring the party. And I really like that. Here we have the devil. Interesting depiction of the devil. You've got someone who is like, I'm going to break all the rules, all the norms, all the stereotypes. You notice that the cards are bordered. I'm usually not a big fan of border, but it doesn't bother me here because the colors are so bright and there's so much going on in each of the pictures that it's almost like the border is necessary to kind of break up some of the chaos that is going on. Gives you an opportunity to focus on what is transpiring here. Okay, I need to turn these around. Here we have the Fool card. What an interesting depiction of the Fool. Here he is, kicking the can of paint over. Here's the little fairy that's kind of connected and involved here. We've got a little kitty cat, so that's his companion. Clearly, he's open to working. He's creating things. There's scaffolding here. There's definitely a new adventure that is transpiring. We've got a beautiful rainbow of hope in the background. We've got a Hawaiian hibiscus flower. There's a lot going on in this journey. Here we have the Hierophant, and this is a standard Mark I modern day gentleman wearing a red tie and a black suit. He's got his cane. He's sharing his wisdom. He's been around the block a few times, but look at the fairy. The fairy's bored to tears. The fairy's like, this isn't fun. I want to do fun stuff. Let's not focus on all the tradition and the pomp and circumstance. Let's just kind of, wing it. Here's a really interesting depiction of the Temperance card. Two people that are very unhappy with one another. There's clearly a conflict going on. And then you've got this beautiful shining face. This woman is saying, hey, I've got some nourishment for you guys. It can't be all bad. Why don't you work through this over these really delicious drinks, these healthy drinks? You'll get through this. You'll figure it out. Everything's going to be okay. And then you've got a big fairy representation over here that is observing what is transpiring. You've also got a little kitty cat in the background. Just really clever. Here's death, and death is depicted sort of as a ghost or a spirit in the background. They're in a park during the winter season. We've got a lot of crows, a lot of black birds that are here. And you've got the grandmother and, the grandchild or the young child, the youth that is transpiring. And there's affection, there's connection, there's support for one another. There's an expression of, I'm enjoying the present moment now because I understand that death is here. Change is coming. And I'm not afraid of that change. I love that they're both wearing the purple boots. Feet take us where we need to be. And she's going to carry on with what she's learning and the experiences and the connection that she's had with this woman. She's going to carry it on in her life. Here we have the Queen of Blades. So again, blades are swords in this deck. And this Queen of Blades, this Queen of Swords, she's running an experiment. She's telling people, hey, you need to do this and you need to do that. There's a lot going on. She's obviously a doctor or a lab, a scientist, that kind of thing. There's wisdom around her. There's also the fairy who's saying, let me, sort of model after you. I'm going to, sort of repeat what you're doing or emulate what you're doing. So the fairy's learning through her. Here's the King of Wands. This is fascinating, this particular depiction. So here we have a visually impaired gentleman who is perhaps running a marathon. And you've got people cheering for him. And he's not happy that you're cheering for him because he's, a blind individual who is running a marathon. He's smiling and so happy that you're cheering for him because you're witnessing aspects of yourself that maybe you're not realizing. And he's realized that. And so he's a walking example and a walking inspiration or a running inspiration. He's got his support. He's got his peeps. He's got this sort of Rastafarian sort of fairy that is observing the situation and the scene as well. Here we have the Justice card. And this is interesting because you've got these two people fighting and she's kind of not paying that much attention to what's going on. She's trying to see the middle ground. She's trying to find out what the heart of the matter is. Here we have the Hanged Man. And this one is really fascinating to me because he's annoying the fuck out of everybody around him. Like clearly he's trying to gain a lot of attention. He's lost perspective perhaps. And what's interesting is the Hanged Man is about perspective. It is about that pause and breathe, being in limbo. But sometimes we can get stuck. We can get trapped in that and we can't see the forest for the trees. So I feel like that's kind of an interesting depiction. Gives you a really clever reading when this is coming up and coming through for you. Here is the King of Cups. I love that there's a puppy dog in here. That King of Cups energy, it's kind of like the dad who invests in his kids. He's painting, he's getting all, involved. He's involved. He loves his kids. He loves what he's doing. He loves being involved in his life. Here we have the Nine of Blades. So this is waking up from a nightmare and still being in the nightmare. And she's being supported by her companion here. But she's got a major headache. She's been taking some pills. She's not sleeping well. Maybe she's doing a little too much. Her hair is purple. She really wants to connect. She wants to feel connected to source energy, but her thoughts are keeping her from, I want to say, the full spiritual experience that is within her. She's just blocking it from her space and from her path. Here is a Six of Coins. the generosity, the giving, the investment. Here's a help sign. And she's like, yeah, I'll help you. I'll put a coin in there. I'll put a coin in there here too. And then even the dog is like, hey, I'll take something. I'll take some love. And she's happy to do it. She's happy to give it. Here we have the 5 of coins. How interesting. The 5 of coins is very much that, okay, I'm the outsider and I'm looking in and I'm seeing you in all of your abundance. And I'm wondering, well, when is my ship coming in? But I want to say, you could do this too. It's about manifesting what it is that you want and need. And don't judge another person's path, because you don't really know what their path and purpose is. You don't know if she just gambled away her entire mortgage payment and now she's only got 5 coins. She doesn't even have enough for that mortgage payment. And yet you might be looking in and saying, I wish that was me. Be careful what you wish for, is what I keep hearing. Here we have the Empress. And she looks like a teacher almost. It's like the kindergarten teacher, although they're representing her as part of a family here. But I see her as a kindergarten teacher, and she's reaching out her hands. Oh, come to me. Let's have some fun. Let's learn some fun stuff. Let's be creative. Let's be all in the space of the paints and the creation. Let's cook our meals together. Let's just be in the space of love. Here's our Page of Cups, lots of creativity. The sign that she's painted, I love you. And there's a beautiful rabbit here. So there's an abundance of creativity. She's just going hog wild here. We have a beautiful dragonfly, which is about adaptability, being in flow. There's the game of life. She's on a blanket that is kind of that checkerboard sort of feeling. Whenever I get that in a tarot card deck, I often think of the game of life. And this is a youthful individual who is embracing the game of life and what the game of life has to offer. And she's got a fairy that is so excited to be participating with her. Here we have the Magician card. Oh, he's smiling. He's teaching his kid or a neighborhood kid about how you work with the elements in your world. You work with the resources that are around you. You love Mother Earth. You appreciate Mother Earth for all that she provides. Here is the High Priestess. How interesting. So again, she's depicted all in purple, so that intuition. There are no pillars here that we are witnessing. There are a lot of animals. So we've got a cat, we've got 2 cats, we've got a fox here, an opportunist. There's sort of a garbage pail, some garbage. So she's in the alleyway. And I feel like what this is saying, she's holding a mirror up. What this is saying is it doesn't matter where you are or what you're doing. It doesn't matter your circumstances or your surroundings. You can tune in and go and get the information from source, no matter where you are and what you're doing. Here we are seeing the reflection of the moon in the water. So it's kind of like we don't have any excuse to not lean into our intuition. It's kind of interesting. Here we have the Knight of Cups. So, the idealist, the romanticist, he's singing for his supper. He's singing songs of love and he's attracting attention. These, 2 pigeons coming together, little love doves, right? 10 of blades, 10 of swords. So here's a guy that is running away. Someone is trying to cause him harm because he's trying to take something out of the garden. He is not taking care of himself. He's not doing the things that he needs to do. And he's getting caught. He's getting caught not being in his honesty and integrity. He's making choices to not bring his A game to his life. And so this is the end of it. He's being caught. And there are going to be consequences for that. This symbolizes a big change, and he's not going to be able to get out of it. Here we have the 4 of blades, the 4 of swords, that rest, that truce, getting out of your head. And here we have 2 fairies that are taking a rest. And we have these 2 little, I don't know what these little creatures are. They're beautiful. Maybe they're not skunks. Anyway, otters. Oh, there's 4 of them. Sorry. There's 4 of them. 1, 2, and 3, and 4. And you've got this person who's just kind of relaxing. He's meditating. He's putting his tent up. He's got some, still some work to do, but he's just kind of taking a break and relaxing. He's enjoying being in his surroundings. Three of Blades. So this is that Three of Swords energy. And here we see her. She's crying. She's upset. There's something that she was going to create, that she was in the middle of creating, that got destroyed, taken away. It didn't turn out the way she thought it was going to turn out. And so she's feeling that at this time. And she's got, little creature teachers around her. But she is really focusing on the heartbreak, the heartache, and the pain. Here we have the Two of Wands, and the Two of Wands, I love this depiction. So this is a card of direction, and here we see someone following his passion. A drummer who is captivating his audience. He's fully in the throes of his talents. He loves sharing his talents, but he loves sharing his talents because of what others receive from it. But he also loves sharing his talents because of what he receives from it. And I feel very much that when we've got, sort of the world here depicted on one of his drums, and the flowers that are here, there's a red rose, the life, the love, and also the white rose, spirit energy, but also that duality, life and death. There's a lot that he's got to learn here. He's on stage right now. How does he carry that on into his daily life? That's the direction that he's in the process of learning. Here's the Eight of Blades. Baby crying, feeling trapped. The baby is like, get me the hell out of here. I'm having a hard time communicating what my needs are. The mother is like, oh my God, make it stop. The dog is howling because the dog is like, why aren't you picking up this kid? Like, this kid needs something, mama. Like, we need to help it. And there's just a lot of chaos here, and it's noise. You can see in this picture, there's so much noise. How can you remove yourself from the noise? You can ask for help. You pull that baby out of the crib. You go for a walk. There are a number of different things that can be done. This too will pass, but you have to take some action steps around it and understand where you have put yourself in that cage or in that entrapped situation. There are always ways to get out of it, but it's also an acknowledgement of the part that you played in how you got there in the first place. Here we have the Seven of Blades. And we have an opportunist, a fox in here. We've got a laptop. I mean, this is a thief, right? He's going down. He's broken into all these places. He's not even being secretive about it or sneaky about it. He's just walking down the road. And these people are like, oh my God, like, I know what you're doing. I'm seeing you and how bold and brazen you are. You don't even care that I'm seeing you. There's a lot of message to that. Six of Blades. So moving on to calmer shores, support and grace. They're leaving a backpack behind and they're taking a new journey. And they're taking a new journey. They've got their skates on. They're taking a new journey because they need to be focused on what's coming up and what's coming through. Yeah, they plan to come back for the backpack, but they might not. They might not end up needing it. They might get to where it is that they're going and feel like, okay, we're in calmer shores. We're in safety. Let's stay here. Five of Blades, conflict. Yeah, I mean, what a perfect depiction. If you watch anything, whenever the place where I go to get my my toes and my nails done, they always have Kitchen Nightmares playing with oh my God, I can't remember the chef's name now. I watch it all the time when I'm there and I love it. It's a guilty pleasure of mine when I go there. But there's always conflict in the kitchen. It's like you got a bunch of alphas. Cooks are all alphas. They all want to be the boss. They want to be in charge. And so, a lot of chaos ensues. King of Blades. This is a great depiction here of the King of Swords. We're seeing a court case. We're seeing someone arguing a court case in front of the magistrate. We're seeing proof. There's an exhibit here that is being shared. There's a fly that's buzzing around, but he's focused. He's not worried about anything else. The jury is rapt by what it is that he's saying. He's got support. He's got a colleague with him, but he's the one who is ultimately fighting the case. There's pens. The pen is mightier than the sword. It also indicates that he's good with communication. He's good with words. There's water here, a half drunk glass of water, or glass half full, glass half empty, depending on what's going on. There is emotion involved, but not a ton of emotion. The emotion is in check. There's just so much in these images. I love it. Here's the Two of Blades, the Two of Swords. She's saying, no, I'm going to bury my head in the sand. I don't care if it's a final notice or not. I don't want to hear it. I just want to escape from my world for a minute. The Ace of Blades, as we talked about, I have a hard time with this image, so I'm going to just kind of skip through it a little bit. But the idea here, the Ace of Blades, the Ace of Swords, I always read it as new thought. I feel like what's being depicted here is, I think they said in the book, clear incision. So we need to be clear about what we are cutting away so that we can start fresh and start new. It's kind of a, I feel like maybe he's having a lipoma removed, a non-cancerous fatty tumor, and that just needs to be removed. And then he comes out and everything is happy. That's what I'm going with that. Here's the Queen of Wands. Oh, I love it. She's so happy. She's expressing her joy. She's the conductor. She's got all of these people that she has worked so hard with to create the ideal sound. There's fireworks, there's celebration. She's at the top of her game. Loving that. Here we have the Knight of Wands, and he's super happy. He's like, yeah, like I just fixed something amazing. And I feel like he's kind of maybe pissing off a few people back here because he's being a bit reckless. He's making a lot of noise and driving through a park area that maybe he shouldn't be. But man, oh man, is he ever happy? Maybe he's a little mad. The King of Wands is sort of impulsive. And I feel like that's what's being depicted here. Ace of Wands. So this is inspired action. And she's getting ready to put paint to the canvas. She's getting ready to start something new. And the little fairy guy is all up in that, ready to inspire. Here's the Page of Wands. This is an enthusiastic student. An enthusiastic student who's like, yeah, let's go and explore. 10 of Wands, rewards and the burdens that go with it. I keep hearing deadline. She's having a hard time with the deadline. She's like, oh my God, like I can't seem to get anything on paper that's going to work. And the clock is ticking and somebody's calling me. Is it ready? Is it ready? Is it ready? She's losing her mind. Where has she overexerted herself? Where has she overinvested? 9 of Wands, interesting. He's gotten beat up pretty bad. People are making fun of him. Not sure what that's about. Maybe he was a bully and he got his due. And now everybody's like, okay, see, you were mean to us and now look at what you're doing. So maybe you'll think twice about that. Here's an interesting story. The 8 of Wands. So 8 of Wands is swift release. Selling the house. She's making the decision to move on. To do something new, to do something different, to have a new experience and adventure. And she's leaving behind the white picket fence. She's leaving behind the convention. And she's moving into something that is going to be a little more adventurous. Here we have a 4 of coins, 4 of pentacles. He's at the beach. He's not overly happy, but he has found some treasure. Maybe it's not the treasure he wanted, but I feel like maybe he's not aware of how valuable that treasure actually can be in the future because he attached expectation to what it was that he was building. Maybe he feels that I took all this time and effort and built all this and all I got was 4 lousy coins. Well, maybe on the whole rest of the beach, there are no other coins and he found 4. That means he's lucky. But he's taking that for granted. He's not seeing it as such. Here we have the Knight of Blades. Okay, so someone who's not shutting up. And this person is like, oh my God, can you just cut my hair? Can you cut my hair and just be silent? Like, I don't want to hear all the drama. I don't want to hear all of the things and the stuff that you're saying. I'm tired. And I'm really hoping you're not going to mess my hair. I'm hoping that you're going to listen to what it is that I've asked you to do. Page of Blades. So this is curiosity. There's excitement. Look, oh my God, I found this snail. This is incredible. Like, look at all of these things in the garden. And I found the thing that was in the book. And I'm just so proud of myself. I love these cards because they really tell a story. 9 of Cups. It's that wish is fulfilled. Here is a couple who is, it looks like they're being celebrated. Maybe it's an anniversary. Maybe it's a wedding. Maybe it's just being celebrated for the shits and giggles of it all. There's a lot of delicious fruit here. So sweetness, enjoying the sweetness of life. There are people, perhaps they're part of the celebration intentionally. Maybe they're there as the celebration is occurring, and so they're a part of it by proxy. But overall, everyone is happy for this couple. This is a good feeling. This is a good story. 10 of coins, that legacy. So here we have sort of a Santa figure, Grandpa Santa. We've got the kids, we've got, the parents, the happy tree, the presents, the coins that are being shared. So I want to say it's like a moment in time. It's a bit contrived. It's a bit contrived moment in time, but there it is. Here we have the 9 of coins. Oh, she looks a little bit like Angelina Jolie in the face, just a little bit. So 9 of coins, it's a card of gratitude. And here she is taking her time, reading a book and enjoying. This would make me so happy. The only thing that I don't see here is a glass of wine. She's got tea instead of the wine. I would have the glass of wine with this, but it's a cheese plate. So she's eating healthy. She's eating something that is, I want to say, a little more luxurious in nature. We're seeing a lot of green, so there's a lot of health. There's a lot of abundance and growth here. She's feeling satisfied. She's feeling comfortable. She's got enough money to do what needs to be done. Her cat is happy. She's living in a really nice environment. The day is beautiful. She's got the windows open, not a care in the world. 8 of coins. So this guy is hard at work. He's mastering his craft. And there is an apprentice and a master here. There is teaching. There is learning that's going on. And it's successful. And people are happy about it. 7 of coins. Here we have handmade crafts. And she's not paying attention to what's actually going on. She's off in La La Land, or she's watching something else going on. And there's someone that's saying, here, I'd like to take the whole lot. And she's not listening. And even the dog is like, hey, you've been here all day. You've been trying to sell your wares. Why are you suddenly distracted? Why are you not paying attention? This is the priority. This is where you need to be. Here we have the 10 of cups. And so again, sort of the concept of the ideal of what you've been working on and working towards. Happiness, joy. Here we have the 3 of coins. This is a card of collaboration. It's a card of paying attention to the details, learning the basics of things. And I love all the busyness that's going on here. This definitely feels like a collaborative effort. A lot of people having a conversation. This boat is coming through, maybe delivering some supplies. Hey, do you want the flowers? Hey, I saw your wife this morning, hoping you guys are doing well. There's just a lot of camaraderie here. 2 of coins, balance. He's balancing these 2 plates. We've got the savory and the spicy, and then we've got the sweet and the fruity. There's wine on the table. It's empty. Waiter, we need some more sup. We need some more wine. And he's like, I'm coming. I'm getting to you. So a lot of that balance coming up. Here's the Ace of Coins. Interesting. Planting a seed. He's hard at work. And I feel like he's recognizing, in order for me to make money, I've got to put the work in at this time. Let me fix this thing, and then the money will flow. Then everything will come together. Then I can pay attention to you, fairies. Then I can have a little more fun. But right now, I've got to focus on finishing this job. I've got to plant this seed. 5 of Wands. There's a lot of scattered energy here. A lot of he's frustrated. These 2 kids are at a crossroads with one another. The dogs are even fighting. There's someone tripping over another guy. The wind is taking away his umbrella, or turning his umbrella inside out. This is just like chaos. It's a day of chaos. It's the perfect storm. Don't have a ton of expectation on a day like this. Just sort of chalk it up to, okay, that was a day. Glad it's done, and moving on. 7 of Cups. Choices. She's a tattoo artist, and what colors is she going to use? What colors are going to bring to life the image, the vision that she has created, or the vision that her client wants her to create? 6 of Cups, that's the past, going into the past, nostalgia. And you're seeing the mother, the girls are having their little tea party. They're having a great time. Maybe it's a birthday party. The dog's participating and the mother is lost in thought. Maybe she's sad that, these days of her tea stuff are gone. Maybe she's wishing that she could go back and do things like this again. Maybe she's just distracted. But definitely it's an invitation to feel the nostalgia, but then come back into the present moment. 5 of Cups. Loss, grief, somebody who's crying over a graveyard, and you're seeing that, it's been there for a while. This is old grief, or they're in the kind of the process of the grief because they've got 2 flower pots that are, dead flowers overturned. There's nothing there. 3 that she keeps bringing. She's got her companion with her. Her dog is like, I feel you. I've got you. I've got you. But the implication here as well is, we feel grief in different ways and stages and phases. We can't push ourselves through that. This is an indication of, okay, she's moving through the process, but she's not on the other side of it. And we are seeing perhaps this is the person that she lost who's coming to visit and oversee. And then you've got this angel and the beautiful crow in circles of support. Here we have the 4 of Cups. He's bored, he's disinterested, he's not paying any attention at all, and he has the opportunity to connect with someone. This guy's like, hey, here, have some water. I know you spilled your drink. I know you don't have a lot of water. I know you're a little disappointed in things, but I got you. Here, have some of mine. But if he's not going to pay attention, there's not a whole lot that this person is going to be able to do for them. So help yourself. Help me help you. 3 of Cups. Celebration, coming together, chit-chatting, shooting the shit. A little doggy in the background. I love that we have all of the animal creatures that are a part of this journey. 2 of Cups. 2 people that are really having a great connection. And you see in the background another 2 people having a different great connection. And then you see the dog and the kid having a great connection. You see the duck having a connection with the birds. You have this couple having a great connection. 2 of Cups is the energetic connection that makes a lot of sense. Here we have the 7 of Wands. So we have the British police, right? The police are holding the line. There's a protest that is happening here. It's a peaceful protest, but there is a division here. There's defensiveness. People are on edge. They're on the balls of their feet, trying to figure out where they need to go next. 6 of Wands, victory. It's a marathon. They made it. The World card. How interesting. We aren't seeing the laurel wreath, but the green is represented in the land, the exploration of the land. We've got our, deer and the frog and the fish and the birds and the butterflies, the transformation, all of the diversity in the women that are coming together to support. They're creating this quilt. And they're doing it together. They've arrived. There's agreement here. There's acceptance here. And they're ready to pass that on to others. Here we have the Judgment card, ready for something new and something different to come into the mix. I feel like, she's losing her mind in some of this. She's saying, I'm done with that. I'm actually going to answer the call. I'm going to move forward here. I'm not judging you for what you're doing. I'm just recognizing that when I do this, it no longer feels good. So I'm ready to move on. And I understand that life is sporadic, and this is the next sporadic move in my journey. The Sun, and this is the cover of the box. And I wonder if this is actually what Poppy Palin looks like, that maybe she's chosen a little bit of a kind of a biographical picture of herself. I love the colors in all of this. She is the sun, and she is the sun in this concrete jungle. Here's the Moon. We have an older woman dressed in plaid, representing the game of life. Again, we've got some cross stitching here. Maybe she's a carpet bag lady, like she's a vagabond. She's collecting things and taking things wherever she goes. But I want to say she's really intuitive. She doesn't need a whole lot in order to be happy, in order to live her life, in order to be tuned in to what is going on. People find her. People give her things. She never has to do without. Here's the star card. This little girl is saying, hey, come to me. I can help you. I'm reaching out to you. Give me your hand. I'll bring you closer. I'll give you what it is that you need. And it's youthful. It's the innocence of youth. She doesn't need, we as adults, we get in our heads about a lot of different things. Well, I can't do this unless this and this and this is, sort of in the mix. The little girl says, hey, take my hand. Come and join me. We'll figure this out together. You don't have to do this alone. Here's the tower. Okay, so she's on her phone. There's this major thing that's happening. We have these 2 dragons that are attacking this apartment building. Oh my God, you better come quick. I can't even believe it. I didn't know that this was going to happen. This was so sudden. It was so unexpected. You've got people that are being injured at the base of the apartment. You also have people that are in the apartment that are looking at all of this and trying to figure out, how do I get out of this? I mean, that's pretty self-explanatory, though. Oh, interesting. Here we have the Wheel of Fortune, and I love the tire, right? The tire is the Wheel of Fortune. It gets you where you're going. It's going to roll down the street no matter what you choose. Can you catch it? If any of you have ever had that experience, and sadly enough, I have, where you have to catch a tire that is rolling down the street. When it picks up speed, when it starts to bounce because of the rubber in it, it definitely goes a lot faster than you. So you are chasing the wheel. You're chasing your fortune. And I feel like that's kind of interesting. It changes things up. It adds a little excitement and a little variety to your otherwise mundane day. Here we have the Hermit card. He's reading, he's meditating, he's working on going within, he's contemplating what it is that he's reading. He's surrounded by his circles of support. It's nighttime. He's utilizing the reflection of the moon to help reflect what it is that he is integrating in his body. Here we have the Queen of Coins, that resource. Look at all of that resource. And she's sharing. She's sharing of her wealth and her goods. Here is the Knight of Coins. He's doing the work. He's getting caught up. He's taken way too long to get the job done. But man, oh man, is it going to be an incredible job once he's done. He's also missing out on some of the rest of life that's around because he is a little bit over-focused on the details. But that's what he's doing. Page of Coins, walking the dogs, getting paid, having that entrepreneurial spirit and energy, being willing to do the work in order to have an exchange of energy. This is what I need, and I need this, and you need that. So let's come together. Here is the Strength card. And oh my God, I love this dog. Oh my God. It's like a sheepdog or oh my God, why can't I think of the name? Like, not a Saint Bernard, kind of like a big furry fuzzy lab, a Newfoundlander. Looks like a Newfoundlander for me. Sorry, it took me a minute to get to that. Definitely feeling here, you've got somebody who is in a wheelchair who has mastered the ability to go through these rocks to get to where she's at. Oh my God, I have 2 working legs. And I don't know if I would be able to cross that path, whether I had shoes or not. That would be a bit of a treacherous road. Here she is having to do all of that strength with her arms and the wheels to get her to where she is. That is strength. That is fortitude. That is determination. That is empowerment. I like that. Here we have the Chariot. Oh, so cool. On the skateboard, getting to where he needs to be. That skateboard's pretty small. It's not meant to be something that he's going to stand on forever or work with forever, but it's temporary. It's getting him to where he needs to be right now. And that's exactly what the Chariot's about. The Lover's card. Oh, so sweet. So again, in this depiction, we're seeing a number of different examples of love. So the dog loves the people. The 2 people love each other. 2 people here are connecting and loving each other in this way. You've got this person who is absolutely loving the tree. You've got the swans in the background that are expressing love as well. Reflections, how we are seeing each other in our own eyes and through each other's eyes. 8 of Cups, what an interesting depiction of the release, the walking away. I've got all this responsibility. I got to get through all of this stuff. But really what I want to do, my soul is calling me to a different adventure. This can wait. Let me go out and see the world. Four of Wands, celebration, establishment of a new relationship, a new path, a new chapter, contracts. Three of Wands, beautiful. This is expansion, and they're expanding onto a new horizon. They've got a guide, so they're not having to do it alone. They've got a lot of support, but it is a trek. It is a haul, and the expansion is going to be worth it on the other side. Here we have the Emperor. You got this big friendly face. He's like, hey, come on in. I'm happy to do this deal for you. I'm happy to have put together this contract or to hire you, in the role that I'm in. This is incredible. Here we have the Ace of Cups. Loving this Ace of Cups. Look at how all of them are coming together. They're celebrating their win as a team. I love that there's a dragonfly in here as well. We don't often see the Ace of Cups and think teamwork. We think sort of individual, or maybe like two people coming together. But I love that this is the whole team that gets to embrace and enjoy the success of this Ace of Cups energy. And finally, we have the King of Coins. So, this is the farmer in his fields. This is him planting the seeds and saying, yay, we got plenty of harvest. Why don't you come on by? We'll make some dinner. We'll open a bottle of wine and share in the joy. I'm relaxed. There's no rush. There's no hurry. Let's do this. So I love this deck, and I'm just so blown away at how much I actually love this deck now. So in Stacey style, I am now going to pull a card for anyone who is interested in this deck, how this deck is going to work with you. And I love pulling a card for this question because each deck has its own language. Each deck has its own mission and purpose in how it wants to work with you. Oh, interesting. Wow, I got this with somebody else too, with a different deck. Two of Blades or Two of Swords. So I feel like this deck is going to give it to you straight. We talked here about how she's trying to avoid. She's trying to bury her head in the sand. I don't want to be realistic about things. I feel like this deck is saying, we're going to kind of hit you over the head with the messaging. Yeah, there's a final notice here. You can close your eyes all you want, but that doesn't mean that final notice just disappears. But I also feel with the Two of Blades that it's going to give you the opportunity to make a different choice. And how I often read Two of Blades or Two of Swords is I see it as, being blindfolded so that you can tap into the third eye, so that you can involve the intuition in the process of the choice that you're making. Yeah, you can tune out the rest of the world in order to come up with a solution. You can go into that meditative space, but understand that it is a solution to something that you're seeking, and you need the solution. The problem is not going to go away. So you do need the solution. And I feel like that's exactly what this deck is going to give you, is it's going to give you solution, and it's going to hit you over the head with the scenario. It's going to hit you over the head with what that solution needs to be. It might not necessarily be what you want to hear, but it's always going to be truthful, and it's always going to be communicated in a very clear, direct way. All right, guys, that is our everyday enchantment tarot. It was so great to share this deck with you guys. It was such a surprise for me. I hope you got a lot of joy out of this as well. I'm just so excited that I was able to share it with you. Until the next video, I hope you have the most incredible week. And, feel free to share your experience in the comments below. I would love to hear from you guys. And until next time, take care and transform well. That's our show for today. I hope you enjoyed it. It was great to connect with you guys. Please like, subscribe, and comment for more content like this. And feel free to follow me on Blue Sky for even more content every single day. Can't wait to see you guys next week for another installment of Black Feather Couture, Divining the VIP Life.